Do you want to learn how to use DragBat at Town Hall 11 and earn 3 stars with it? Well, this guide is going to teach you everything about the DragBat Attack strategy at Town Hall 11. This guide is going to teach you everything from base identification to what you're specifically looking for in order to use the bat spells. That being said, let's jump into the guide. So let's go ahead and start off this video with a live attack before we move into the DragBat replays. So obviously I want to get you guys into my head of the DragBat. We're going to do some farming attacks here, and we're going to kind of plan in that 30 seconds. So that's specifically what we really want to try and do with this. So we've got 2 Electro Dragons here, 8 Dragons, 8 Loons, and then we also got a Rage in the spells and then a Rage in the CC along with 2 free spells and 7 bats. I usually like this composition a lot. It is extremely fun to farm with. You can use this attack strategy to farm. That's how I farmed my base up to max. So let's go ahead and find a base here that we want to hit with. So here we go. We got this base design and I am liking the look of it. I think that we can get a lot of good value. If we take a look at where all the splash is, we can actually enter into the base from, let's say, right here, and we can actually get to that eagle. Now, also, we want to take a look at where the air defenses are so we can have a solid funnel with the Electro Dragons, so then we can get a solid funnel set. So now we can actually start doing this attack a little bit. Let's go ahead and use an Electro Dragon right here. Ooh, a Seeking Air Mine is popped there. Ooh, that is not good. Alright, so that actually kind of clears that out. So let's go ahead and use another one right there just to pick that up. We'll have to use a dragon right there to set the other side of the funnel. We'll go ahead and use heroes on either side to sort of set the funnel there. And now what we've got to do is we've got to use another dragon right here. And then we will start to send in the loons once a nice funnel has been set. We can start sending in the dragons, the Stone Slammer, and the Grand Warden. We're going to then use the Rage, the first initial Rage, pop that ability right there. There's only loons in the CC, so that's not that bad. Let's go ahead and pop the Grand Warden's ability right there. Not seeing too much value here from this one, but let's see. Now we're going to be able to use the... Let's see, we can probably use it right here. Let's go ahead and freeze this up. Freeze that up as well. Still have the Queen's ability here. Let's see. Ooh, I did not notice that Queen and where she was placed, but we got through it. Definitely used the freeze a little early. I don't think this is going to do it here. We got a lot of the loons going off in one direction. Not looking too good. Let's see what we're going to be able to do. Still got a minute. We still got a good chunk of the dragons still up, and we still got loons as well. But one of the biggest things is the air defense there. Definitely what I could have done differently is really used a loon there to soak up that Seeking Air Mine. That really definitely put a damper onto this attack. But I think we can still get through this. We still got a few dragons. We still have some loons, but they are not going to get to that air defense. Ugh, that's a tough one. I think that this might actually will be a fail. Dang. I really didn't want to fail here with you guys. But definitely, I don't think that this is going to do it. I think we are going to fail on this base design. We still do have 50 seconds. Let's see. Can we get through this? We still have that lowered archer tower there. And also the... Ooh, let's see. Can we get through that lowered archer tower and the other archer tower? It could be down to time. Nope, it's not. Ugh, that sucks. That really sucks. I think there were a few things I could have done differently with this attack, but again, you can kind of tell into my mindset. Even if the attack goes wrong, you really want to try and make sure to get some value. Obviously, I was kind of rushing through this attack right here, but definitely it gets you guys into the mindset of how I would have hit a base like this. Obviously, not the greatest base to fail on. However, again, obviously, it was that first initial thing that really screwed me up. So, oh well. So let's go ahead and jump into the replays we've got here for you guys. DragBat is still one of the strongest attack strategies right now in the current meta of the game. It is definitely still strong at Town Hall 11, and I would definitely encourage you guys still use it. Now, obviously, there are a lot of different ways of doing these type of attacks. This is going to include using 2 Electro Dragons, or maybe using an Ice Golem, which we will be going over within this video. Now, the other thing is knowing exactly how many freeze and how many bats you may want to be bringing. Now, usually for me at least, usually having 3 free spells is really good, and then having 4 bat spells for you, and then 2 from the CC are usually going to really be what you want to try and bring with this attack. Now, if I'm taking a look at this base design as a Dragbat attacker, what I want to specifically look for is how can I get to the eagle as quickly as possible, but as well as how much splash can I get from that side. Well, if we first take a look at where the air supers are pointing, we have one pointed down like here, and we also have another one pointed to the side. This means that we're going to have this area completely walled off, and we're going to have this area completely walled off, meaning that we can actually enter into this area, get the eagle, the wizard towers here, and the multi-inferno relatively easily. Now, another thing is you want to try and also take a look at the outside buildings, and you want to see, can I use the Electro Dragons to bounce or chain something onto this? So you want to try and maybe set a funnel here so that then you can send your dragons straight in. So you really want to try and make sure to identify this. Again, with this attack strategies, there's really no key objectives when you guys are doing an attack strategy like this. So usually what you're specifically trying to look for is as much splash as possible, and then you also want to try and get at least 1 multi-inferno. If we notice this on this base design here, what we're going to be leaving here is we will be leaving these 4 structures here. However, you are using a Sui hero, which means that this this wizard tower here can be taken out with the Sui hero. That also means that now you have a clear set path on exactly what splash you're going to be getting. And if we kind of take a look at this small area right here, you can freeze that up. Make sure that you're using the Grand Warden's ability specifically when your dragons and your Stone Slimer and Loons get a little bit deeper into the base. Just try to protect them in that second layer so that then they can start moving into the base. Bat spells are specifically supposed to be used with the Bat, Rage, and Freeze, or vice versa, Rage, Bats, and then Freeze, and you guys can either way do so. Usually you're going to be using the freeze spells there to try and freeze up those wizard towers and the multi-inferno. Usually trying to put it over the multi-inferno first, and then the wizard towers are going to be a lot better. Multi-infernos are definitely something to take out since they hit more than 1 target. So what's really important is to try and clear that out before you then start clearing out the other buildings. Now, another weakness of those bats are going to be the Expos and Teslas. So what you really got to identify with an attack strategy like this is exactly the number, or I guess I shouldn't say that, but the freeze that you are going to need to use. Now, if you decide to bring 3, that third one could be used on top of one of those. Again, it's up to you on exactly how you guys want to do this with attack. So when we're taking a look at this base design, as a Dragbat attacker, you really want to try and get as much splash as possible, but you also want to take a look at where the air supers are pointing. So if we look at here, it may be a little bit better to hit from this area and then start moving down here and getting rid of this area with the bats. Since we can actually get rid of a good chunk of those wizard towers like that from just entering into the base with the dragons, we can then don't have to really worry about this, especially if we have 2 other free spells left in our composition. So that's what's going to be really important going forward with an attack like this. So usually what you really want to try and do, again, is to set the funnel, and you could also even separate your heroes, just like what Harry's doing here with the Sui hero on 2 different sides, along with the Electro Dragon. So it's up to you on exactly how you guys want to do your Sui hero with the Electro Dragons as well. But sometimes what might happen is you might have an Electro Dragon move in with your Dragbat, and that could really spell a lot of good value for your Dragbat portion. But again, you really want to make sure that you set a funnel so that you then have a clear area of where all the dragons will be going into. So what you really want to make sure that you do is you rage up the rage up the loons and dragons as much as possible and keep them all alive with that Grand Warden's ability through at least that first volley of the eagle. So that's really, really important. Now again, if we take a look, a good chunk of the splash has been taken out, and we can now use the bats there. Rage, bats, and freeze are definitely going to really give you guys an edge, because you will have a little bit longer of that freeze. And as you can see from this example, that the Stone Slammer and all the bats really were able to take out a good chunk of that splash, only leaving one of those splash buildings left. And that's what's really, really strong about this attack. Still, it's one of the meta attacks here at Town Hall 11. DragBat is still really strong, and it's definitely something to consider using. It is very, very helpful to earn 3 stars. I use it a lot in SCWL and even in the random spin wars that I do along with X of Humanity. Still have yet to jump into a league war with them yet. So this is a little bit of a different example. We can see that the Ice Golem and the Electro Dragon are being used, 1 Electro Dragon instead of 2, and the Ice Golem. Now, something to keep in mind is using a poison spell with an attack strategy like this. The poison is specifically used to deal with the CC as you start to move through. So what's really important is to set the funnel. We can actually take a look at this little area here, and what we can identify is that this is a solid area to hit with the Electro Dragons. So that's really, really important, because if we take a look at it, you can see that a lot of these buildings are either 1 tile away or they're touching. So that's what's really, really important about this. So we can actually get a lot of good value from this side of the base, and then using the king over here to set the other side of the funnel, and then start sending everything in through here. If we take a look at this, we can take a look at the air sweepers, and they are definitely not going to be in range of that. And we can also deal with at least 3 to 4 of these splash buildings relatively easily, only leaving this multi-inferno and also the wizard tower. So that's what's really, really important to consider when you guys are using the DragBat attack strategy. So the first thing that you guys really want to do is try to make sure that you can really set a funnel. So using a funnel here is going to be extremely important. Now again, another thing to notice here is, notice how he's getting rid of those defenses. Specifically, he knows where he's going to be using the Ice Golem. So he doesn't want him to go to another defense. He wants him to go to the specific defense he planned. So you can see as you're moving in through the base, you really want to try and make sure to get as much value as possible from the funnels. And then you really want to be patient with your dragons. You may want to send one in here and then start sending all of them going into there. But you really want to try and make sure that a funnel is set so that then the dragons stay in the base going through. So you really want to try and make sure to keep that alive. So you really want to try and make sure that you can really send those dragons in along with the Stone Slammer and the Grand Warden to move into the base. The next thing that you really want to do is you want to try and put the Grand Warden's ability. You want to use that first initial rage there to get those dragons straight up through, get rid of the CC along using the poison, and trying to make sure that you can pop that Grand Warden's ability within the second layer of walls. As long as you've gotten 1 multi-inferno, you can use the freeze, rage, and bats to get rid of a multi-inferno. This will then allow you to use the Ice Golem, and if we take a look at here, he positioned it in a way where the Ice Golem would then be in that sort of range of the wizard tower, and that is what you really want to try and do. If the Ice Golem was going in this way, he wouldn't have gotten as much value as going in and sending it in like this. Just make sure that if you see a defense on the outside like it was here, then you get rid of that before you send the Ice Golem in. So that's what's really, really important with this attack. So with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, why not leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of these videos. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and join the X of Humanity family, my community Discord server, feel free, the links to it is in the description below. And if you guys want to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, the link to it is in the description below at CorruptYT. With that being said, I'm going to do, guys, my name's Corrupt, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.